Uh, well, I think that was a good place to wrap it up. Probably not the most advancement we could have done, but that's as far as I will be getting right now. So I wanted to say a few words. Um, First of all, to explain the experiment, as to say, this was this summarizes the first, what I would call a season, sort of a pilot season that's been going for around, well, more than a year. Most of it was done on this past week or 2 weeks, but it started a year and 2 months ago, more or less, when the first official stream was done, or not the official stream, but the first stream that was recorded, not recorded, but sort of a first planned, like more planned than improvised. Second, with a legacy kind of thing, because I streamed before. I made like 2 or 3 streams all over the course of these like past 12 years, but there doesn't there isn't anything that remained from them. There isn't like anything recorded that remained from them. I remember I did uh, 1 or 2 streams on Civilization 5 and 1 or 2 or 3 streams on Sims 4, and that was over 10 years ago. No, probably not 10 years ago, but that was at least more than 5 years ago. Yeah, it was probably around 2012 or something, which is the actual day that I started streaming, because even though I did not do it for over five over a period of more than 5 years, I still had more or less the idea to at one point do it like con- constantly. I don't know if that's a word, to do it consistently. But it wasn't until, I don't remember how much, probably more than 2 years, that I took back the idea and actually got to stream some Super Mario World. I think that was at the point in time that I started doing YouTube videos too. But I did not know at the moment about the policy of the videos being deleted. So then I did not make a backup copy of that stream either. So no Super Mario World either. But then, over a year and 2 months ago, I decided to take it back again and started doing some Pokemon stream. I had a more consistent vision on what I was planning to do after some studying of other channels and things. And then I decided that I wanted to have a variety feed, a variety cast, a variety stream, and that I wanted to have it on short episodes, so to say, like be varied, have variety, but constant variety. So when a person goes to see the feed, doesn't find like 20 or 30 episodes on a single product, which wouldn't make it look very varied, but actually just find 1, 2, 3 episodes on a single thing, and a change, and another change, and maybe 2 or 3 of those would make a whole season. And what would notice the change in seasons? Well, my idea at the moment was to start with a stream starting some screen, some words, and then a stream ending and some words. So right now what you're seeing is the stream is ending, which signifies the closing of the season, as I'm mentioning, right? So overall, the idea remains. I think it was executed to a certain degree with fairly good results. What I'm thinking though is that something that I will probably not be able to see through is the amount of time that I was planning. From my perspective, well, YouTube is the platform where I upload videos that are short, so mostly, let's say less than an hour, right? Or around an hour at most. That was my plan, and that's how it is right now. And I was planning that Twitch be the platform where I uploaded full streams of over 2, 3 hours, 6 hours, things like that. But the reality has been, at least the reality that I found with this experiment, is that I'm not so much able to play that amount of time anymore. I don't know, I feel kind of tired after short whiles. It might be that I don't have the resistance that I had before. It might be that I take other variables into consideration that also start wearing me out faster or sooner, or I don't know. I hope those could be the things. I hope it's not something more tragic or something. But anyways, the thing is that I was hoping to do longer streams, and after this pilot session, I kind of realized that the longer stream that I was able to do was not even 2 hours long, and doing it every day or every other day would still feel very tough. Nevertheless, I kind of at times like to do a stream, be it short, be it a half hour, be it an hour, be it 1 hour and a half or something like that. And then I won't lie, then I'm tired, I'm kind of exhausted, and I would like to take a rest, probably a long rest, so to say, an hour or even more, 2 hours, 3 hours, I don't know. I don't like thinking about it that much, but take a rest that will be longer. And at times, after a nap or something like that, at times I feel when I wake up, hey, I kind of want to stream a little more. So I may be able to do it, but overall, first, I don't think it would be that usual. It might be more of a sporadical thing, but I doubt it will be a very long stream either. So overall, it might end up adding a couple of good hours, let's say 3 hours or something, which for what I've seen on the platform is average at best, mediocre probably. I don't know, I've seen streams that go way longer, 6 hours, 8 hours a day, something that I was hoping I was able to do, but I don't think I will be. neither being able nor being moved to do it. I don't know. I kind of enjoy doing something that doesn't feel very heavy. So these short streams, this hour and a half stream, doesn't feel too heavy. They don't feel too light either. But I gotta say, I'm basically just starting now. I don't have any written feedback or other kinds of compensations, motivations. I don't know. So that might be hindering, but I don't want to think that having those things change might make a difference. I kind of just prefer to plan for the worst, or not the worst, but at least what I have right now, which is something completely independent of outside factors. If there's no money, well, there's no difference. If there's no audience or written feedback, well, there's no difference. If there's no consistency doing it like every day or doing it like for a big amount of hours, and there's no problem either. In other words, I feel the current format is somewhat light. It's somewhat not heavy. It's somewhat doable. It's somewhat plausible. It's something that I think I can hold. Especially coming from me, that I consider myself a person that is not very consistent in what I tend to do. I might start doing something and then just leave it halfway if I find it too burdening or something. So I prefer to keep it light, keep it low, keep it easy. And I hope that by having less pressure, at least in those timelines, in the amount of time that I should be, or that I think I should be accomplishing, if I keep those things less stressful, so to say, I think it might help me in the long term to keep doing it, to continue doing it. I feel I have a responsibility, so to say, which might be a good thing or might not be a good thing, in order to help me continue doing this on a daily basis, on a constant basis. But yeah, I kind of feel that there are a lot of factors in place. First, I often see myself as thinking, would I be doing this if I didn't feel the need? If I didn't feel there are outside factors that propel me to do this, to try to accomplish a higher goal at this. And oftentimes, more often than not, the answer is yes, I think I will continue doing it. Nevertheless, it does feel a little more difficult than just playing, because there is the constant attention to the chat, to talking, to the recording status, and yeah, basically that would be the most important things to keep an eye on at the moment, which which probably don't seem like a lot, but they feel like a lot. Also, there's the overhead on the things that I am playing. See, so to say, they sometimes hang, they sometimes go slower. You know, the hardware is being pushed to the limit, having a lot of things working in consonance to be able to deliver the product. And that also brings an extra burden to me, right? It is things that I was when I was planning all of this, I would have considered. I consider that they will happen, but they have turned out to be a little more extenuating than what was planned at first. Nevertheless, it doesn't feel like something that would deter me from doing it. As I'm mentioning, if you ask me, I will still more often than not say that I will keep doing it, that I would continue continue streaming, hoping that I would get my accomplished goals, my desired goals, but probably continuing even if I were not to. I have no idea. Time will tell, I guess. But for now, the format that I want to have is still the same. It's more or less seasons with a lot of variety in them that will start with a screen, the stream starting soon screen, with me saying a couple of words, maybe throwing a riddle about what is to go on that season, what is to be played on that season, what is to be seen on that season, and then the chapters, the episodes, and then an ending, a wrap up, which will be this one on a stream is ending screen, right? So I'm thinking about keeping that format. I'm thinking about keeping the same routine, so to say, and seeing how it goes. I think it will look good. I think if me or anyone else were to enter the channel and see, hey, what videos are there here, even if it is just the highlights that get recorded, seeing different screens from different games, I think it brings a good vibe, a good life to the feed, to what is being seen. So I think it's going to look good. I think it's going to have a good feel to it. Even if the videos are short, even if sometimes the highlights don't show even much, but I don't know. I think the product is not bad. If I could be completely honest, I still think that my playing is something that even I would see again. I don't know. I consider myself a picky customer, and even though of that, most of my playing is something that I would see again. That's also something that moves me into doing this. It is to have the ability to, at a later time, be able to see what I play, see some of the games that I play, see some of the images, of the sounds, of the playthroughs that have been done by me in a certain manner. They could be done by other people, I guess, but I don't think they will be done in the same manner, in the same way, which is something that I really enjoy. So that's something that drives me to keep doing, to continue on, to keep doing it. Hopefully, it is something that gets seen at one point or another, maybe by audience, and that even if it is even if it is different from what it is, I think what's usual, what I at least I have seen as usual, that it's still enjoyable, that it's still enticing to the senses, that it still delivers a message that can be related by the one seeing it. That's just a hope or something. I don't know. I wouldn't care much. Well, I care, but it's not something that it's something that I hope doesn't deter me from doing what I do. Something that I hope it is not something that prevents me from doing what I do. But instead something that if it happens, well, then it's good, because it's more or less not the idea, but one of the ideas that I have, or one of the goals that I have. So yes, I think it's going to look good on that format. Hopefully I can deliver a great variety, even if it is, as I am saying, of short stream or of short views of those games. That's not the end of it. I hope to at one point be able to go back to these 3 games that we saw on this first season, but it is not something that I have planned at the moment. And so, as I'm saying, I hope I have a big variety, and in amount of products, I have the ability at the moment to showcase a lot of products. So the plan that I have thus far is to keep it varied, and even though I hope I get to repeat, I have no idea of when or which one will be done, or at what point it will be done. But when it is, it will probably keep the same format, just a couple of short streams showcasing, and then moving on to another product. Something that I'm hoping to change on the future seasons, though, is the amount of restrictions that I have self-imposed on that format, though. What restriction, you might be asking? Well, I had this whole season planned, as you may see from the stream starting soon screen, recorded over 1 year and 2 months ago. And I recorded the first 2 episodes after that with Pokemon Red and Pokemon Blue. I got a highlight on those, and then I started doing some research, some investigations, and some treasure hunting, so to say, so, to get the products that I needed for the next stream. Unfortunately, that took over a year and 2 months, but was in the end possible, more or less the way I intended it to. Which, for those of you that have not seen the stream, was basically being able to play more than one faction on the game, right? It is a strategy game, the Warlords Battlecry series, and I was hoping to play more than one faction at a time, which was more or less done. but with some hardware restrictions and some other issues, it was not done completely. Nevertheless, I'm glad that even though it took 1 year and 2 months in order to be able to record that next episode, well, that it was possible. As I say, more or less the way I was planning it. And after that came the time to record these last episodes that you saw, which were with MapleStory DS, right? They also were planned ahead and were taken to more or less placement that was expected, more or less the idea that was planned ahead. Also with some investigations that were required and were done. Now I have a lot more tools that will be used on future streams. And well, these tools, even though they took a lot of time to be developed and researched, will prove useful, hopefully. But the restrictions that I was mentioning on a while ago were that at times I was thinking, oh, I want to play this game or I want to play that game, and then I stopped myself. I say, no, I will not do it on stream because I have this particular season planned, and I am going to try and do it as strictly as planned. So I didn't leave much room there for improvisation or creativity outside of what I created when I planned that ahead, aside from the creativity used when I planned that ahead. And that felt a little tight, a little choking at times, because even though it probably were not that much of the times that I thought, hey, I wanna stream X game or Y game that I'm gonna play, there were a couple of times. And in order for that not to happen again, my idea, I guess, is to be a little more loose on that restriction. I'm still planning on how to do it, because I still want to have the stream starting soon screen with some riddles as to what's coming up ahead. But I think the most important, I think the part that will make a bigger difference is not planning on having such big streams. Because the idea at first, as I was mentioning, was to have 6-hour streams or 8-hour streams on the products that I mentioned. And the end product turned out to be streams of less than 2 hours, right? So if I had planned that ahead, I probably would have left more space or more ideas for more products. Or I don't know, the concept still remains the same. I cannot make a season with 20 products, because I think that will make it look a little less, or a lot less organized, right? I have to keep it in the low numbers. 3, 4, 5 products at most on a 6, 7, 8, 9 episode season, correct? And they have to keep some consistency, but I should leave more space for creativity. So while on well, at first I thought that each season was going to be a week or so, even more, 2 weeks for each season or so. Now I'm thinking it's going to be different. It's going to be 1 or 2 or even 3 days for a season. I'm gonna try to make the plans for the stream starting soon screen, but I'm gonna try to play those games not as fast as I can, but faster than when I did this. Well, this is not a good example, since 1 year and 2 months is nowhere near something that could be considered fast. No, but the idea still remains of trying to do the episodes on short streams, but on shorter times. Therefore, first, I don't lose the hype that I have for playing a game. Not that I lost it with these products that I played after so much after planning them, but still some of it kinds of not exactly get lost, but so to say, in the meantime, in the time from one thing towards the next, other ideas start coming to mind. Correct? That's not surprising at all, I guess. And being so restricted, well, all those ideas had to take a back seat, at least on this spotlight. Correct? And that's something that maybe if I don't let it happen, I would be faster on delivering products. Because for example, at one point I might just want to play some other thing, but still feel compelled to deliver on what I had prepared at first. So I should still keep the same format, but try to deliver faster the products. Since they will be on shorter times, then with less concerns. For example, if I am to deliver seven episodes on 3 products, like I did on this time, instead of planning for a week, which turned out to be more than 54 weeks, but instead of planning for a week, I could plan for, well, I could still plan for a week, less than a week, let's say for 4 days. But if on the third day or something I start feeling the creativity flows, the creativity ideas coming to me, and the prospect of expanding or developing another project, then I probably should just push ahead and continue, but conclude that season that I have on track. So how would I do that? Well, instead of recording an episode a day, I could record 2 or 3 episodes depending on what I have planned for a particular product on the same day. That I think would be a good idea. And even though they probably would end up being smaller, I don't think they will go to be, first, of less quality than I have planned, and second, of even of less time that I have planned, with my current knowledge, of course. Because, well, as I mentioned before, I will probably be adhering to the format of not more of around 2 hours per episode, right? Around 2 hours could be half an hour or an hour or an hour and a half or 2 hours. Probably not more than that, seeing how I prefer even to close the stream and take the rest. And since I don't know how long the rest will be, I probably would prefer to take the rest and come back whenever I feel well rested. Well, that's basically my wrap up for all this season and for all my experience thus far. Hopefully, I get improved conditions on everything I have done and on everything that I will be doing. And well, with my expanded knowledge on many things, I hope I can deliver better products as well. Oh, by the way, I guess I did not mention it, but yesterday's test on a portrait screen was delivered good results, was a success, but partially. Still, it is a win, and I will explain why. The portrait mode that I actually like so much, but that I think is not very commonly used, is something that can be better viewed on vertical devices, vertical resolution devices. For example, mobile devices, tablets, I guess, even if a computer is turned upside down or sideways, I guess. But I guess the most common example there would be a mobile, right? So the portrait mode is good for mobiles because you can see it, you can see whatever is happening on the screen without having to turn the phone on a different way that it is commonly used, I guess. And at least from my experience, I don't think that's something that gets developed often. I haven't seen a single stream that goes on a portrait mode, or even YouTube videos that go on portrait mode. But when I play back the videos, I think they look good. They look different, but they look good. And well, my investigation thus far concluded that the program that I'm using is able to transmit on portrait mode, to stream on portrait mode. But the problem is the player, or the place where one is seeing the stream, that also has to be able to play back on portrait mode in order to be seen. And sadly, I had deleted one of the Twitch viewers that I had on my phone, but I left another. On the one that I left, it can be seen, but it still shows it on landscape mode, or a very ugly stretch landscape mode. So it is receiving it as portrait, but it doesn't show it as portrait. Therefore, it just stretches it, and sadly, it didn't look very good. But where it did work was on the Chrome web page on the mobile. On the Chrome web page on the mobile, it was able to show the stream on portrait mode and without any stretching. And I guess that was actually what I was looking for. Maybe it's not the most comfortable, seeing as how probably the apps are the most easier way to access Twitch on mobile or on devices outside, or on Android devices. But still, if one makes the journey to open it on the Chrome, I think it pays well. If one is willing to see the stream on that format, I wouldn't see why not. But then again, to each his own. And as I'm saying, I haven't seen that particular technology being developed anywhere. So it makes me wonder if it is not actually something that would be commercial. But I will still from time to time plan I will still from time to time deliver some portrait mode content. So I was thinking that I should create a command that I would append onto the titles, explaining at least overall, at least on an overview, this portrait thing. Because the stream can still be seen on apps, but it just doesn't look that good. It looks either stretched if it is maximized, or it looks with side borders, with those black side borders, and very small on the center, which doesn't make much sense if you're trying to follow the action that is being shown, right? You may remember one of the past streams was a test of this, and even though it was portrait, it was on a forest landscape, and the portrait was right in the middle, the screen was right in the middle, and it was very small, and it's almost imperceptible, almost unseeable. But that change with the follow up test, and it is now working. I was trying to make a stream of that yesterday, but only managed to make a couple of minutes, a short stream of 3 short streams of a couple of minutes each. Still, I'm going to highlight one of them in order to keep the idea there, the concept there, right? Well, I think I've been going on for I've been going for much time now. So in order to end this wrap up, I guess I just want to say that something that I read in an email not long ago. I think it was around the line. So this has been a long journey to get to this place, but something, I don't know. I'd never opened the email, so I don't know what came next. But I guess a phrase that would fit here would be something saying that even though it's been a long journey to get to this point, well, it hasn't been that bad, I guess. It has proved to give results that I am glad to have, and hopefully that I am able to continue going on this idea. So I'm planning to come back to stream tomorrow. I already have a product chosen, but I'm going to then try to do a riddle session again, a couple of riddles on what it is that's going to be streamed the next days. I only have one of the ideas, one of the products chosen, and another one in case an event happens. And I don't know about the rest, but I'm gonna try, as I was mentioning, to do that in that session, that season, in around 3-4 days, something like that. Something that doesn't feel too long to stretch out, something that doesn't feel like it's preventing me from playing other products, other games, and something that still remains the way I'm planning it, the way I'm intending it, but giving a middle point between creativity and planification. Well, I guess that without further ado, that will be all for now. I should have changed the title on the screen, because, well, after all, it's not Episode DS at the moment, but it has been good. It's too bad that we didn't get farther on any of the products, but I guess that's the life when you're doing variety casting. Well, hopefully one day we get to be able to go back to those products, and hopefully I get to be able to see the videos too, because I enjoy them very much, even though I enjoy them with the original audio more than my voice even. But I think it might not be that bad. Maybe it's about getting used to it. Yeah, hopefully it adds value instead of takes value from it. But yeah, those are two things that I hope. And well, I still have some things to do. I have to do the highlights, and I have to download the videos before they get taken down, start organizing them in the computer, and see if one day I'm able to see them again. Well, that will be all for now. Hopefully then I can come back tomorrow as I planned, and hopefully we can continue on this. Well, for now, I say my goodbyes, and I hope that I'll see you later.